Order. I give the call to the member for Solomon.
Thanks, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Deputy Prime Minister. Can the Deputy Prime Minister outline how the Albanese Labor government will deliver our next generation of submarines and what changes he is making to ensure these can be delivered?
I give the call to the Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and can I congratulate you on your appointment to high office, and can I thank the member for Solomon for his question and acknowledge his service to the Australian Defence Force. Submarines matter for an economy of our size. The potency of our Defence Force is going to be defined by the quality of our capabilities, and there is no asset that we can have which will give rise to a greater question mark in any adversary's mind than a long-range capable submarine. And as we look forward to the end of this decade and into the 2030s, increasingly that will become synonymous with a nuclear-propelled submarine, which is why the Albanese government is completely committed to acquiring that capability. And I can report that in my meetings with the United States, there is an incredible shared sense of mission with them and with the United Kingdom in helping Australia to gain this capability, which is important because to do this will be one of the great national projects in our history. But that project has been made so much more difficult by the negative legacy which has been left to us by the 9 years of inept government of those opposite. In 2013, when the coalition came to power, the successor to the Collins submarine, our current capability, was due in the middle of the 2020s this decade, in the next few years. To start with, they went off to Japan to try and have the submarines built there, and then they backed out. They then signed an agreement with France, and 5 years later they ripped that up. In the process, precious years were wasted. Billions of dollars were spent on absolutely nothing, and great offence was caused to two countries which are so important to our future. At every moment, their decision-making was guided by their own politics. Indeed, the day on which we saw Australia's submarine capability tossed around their party room in the empty chair challenge against Tony Abbott was perhaps the moment when a party of government in this country showed the greatest contempt to the Australian people. They spent 9 years yelling at the world while doing absolutely nothing to advance our capability and our national interests. Well, this country is now under a new management. There's a serious group of people who are in charge, and we understand the challenge that we face. We know the difficult calls that are going to be made, but what we can say is this. Whatever we face, there is only one interest which is going to guide the effort we make, the decisions we take, and that interest is the national interest, a national interest which is defined by the national security of the Australian people.